Right now, we are living through a massive technological revolution, and it's all being driven by artificial intelligence. It's forcing all of us to ask some pretty big questions about our future, our jobs, and what it even means to be human. So let's just get to it. Will a robot take your job? I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, right? It's personal, it's a little scary, and it gets right to the heart of all our anxieties about AI. But what if the answer isn't about fighting the machines at all? What if it's about upgrading ourselves? In this explainer, we're going to dive into the ideas from Joseph Aoun's book, Robot Proof. And believe me, it offers a really compelling blueprint for not just surviving, but actually thriving right alongside AI. Okay, so to start, we really need to grasp the sheer scale of what's happening. This isn't just another tech trend. The author argues that this is a fundamental shift, kind of like the agricultural or industrial revolutions that completely reshape society. Yeah, it's that big. And this isn't some far-off future stuff. Think about it. We've got driverless cars, AI helping doctors, tools that can write an entire essay in seconds. This revolution is already here, and it's changing how we work, how we create, and even how we think. And if you want to talk about scale, just look at the money. $1.3 trillion. That's what the generative AI market is projected to be worth by 2032. We're not talking about some niche market here. We're talking about an economic tidal wave. This is the new reality. So if AI is this massive challenge, what's the solution? Well, aoun argues that it's not about trying to become more like the machines. The solution is actually to become more human. He proposes this whole new framework for education, one designed specifically for the age of AI. He calls it humanics, and the goal here is pretty brilliant. It's not about pumping out graduates for jobs that are probably going to disappear anyway. It's about educating creators, people who can invent, discover, and build things that are so original that automation just can't touch them. The whole idea is to work with AI, not compete against it. So how does humanics actually work? Well, you can think of it as being built on two main pillars. The first pillar is all about what we need to know. The good old reading, writing, and arithmetic, they're still important, for sure, but they are just not enough anymore. We need a whole new set of literacies for this digital world. And here are the big three. First up, technological literacy. This is way more than just knowing how to use an app. It's really understanding the basics of how AI works. Then there's data literacy. In a world just flooded with information, we have to be able to tell the difference between a real fact and, AI-generated fiction. And finally, and this one might be the most important, human literacy. This is about mastering the very things machines are terrible at: empathy, cultural understanding, and real human connection. And that leads us perfectly into the second pillar of humanics. See, it's not just about what new things you know. It's about a whole new way of thinking. It's all about leaning into those cognitive skills that are uniquely and wonderfully human. This slide just lays it out so clearly. You've got AI over here, a master of crunching facts and looking at old data. It's great at finding one right answer. But then you have us. We've got imagination, we can navigate super complex situations with no easy answers, and we understand all the nuance of cultural context. That's where we shine. I absolutely love this quote from the book. Mental furniture. That's just the collection of facts we know. Stuff that an AI can look up in a nanosecond. But mental architecture, that's how we think. It's our ability to be flexible, to be creative, to be critical. And that's what we need to focus on building. So this is our mental architecture. These are the skills that give us our human advantage. Think about something like cultural agility, the ability to operate smoothly in different cultural settings, or systems thinking, seeing how all the different pieces of a complex problem fit together. These are the skills that let us solve new problems and work together in ways AI just can't. You could say the new job of education is to build these capacities in all of us. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually develop this new architecture? Because just reading about it in a textbook is not going to cut it. We need a totally different approach to learning itself. Aoun makes such a powerful distinction here. Traditional classroom learning, it's often theoretical, right? It's kind of like you're just hearing a story told to you. But experiential learning, we're talking internships, co-ops, real-world projects. That's about getting out there and engaging with the world directly. You're not just a spectator, you become the main character in your own learning story. And this right here is the key. To build those skills like adaptability and creativity, you have to practice them. You have to get your hands dirty in the messy, unpredictable context of the real world. That hands-on contextual experience is something AI just doesn't have, and it's how we truly become robot-proof. But look, a transformation this big is way too much for any one group to handle on its own. Aoun calls for a new social compact. Basically, a partnership where universities, employers, the government, and all of us, the learners, work together to create a culture of lifelong learning and reinvention. So, the ultimate takeaway is this. The age of AI doesn't have to be a threat. Instead, you can see it as a challenge for us to double down on what makes us human in the first place. The purpose of education shouldn't be to compete with machines, but to amplify our greatest strengths, our creativity, our empathy, and our ingenuity. Because, unlike a machine, our greatest teacher is always experience. Learning is a lifelong journey that doesn't just stop at the classroom door. So the final question really isn't about the robots. It's for you. How will you use your experiences to build the skills you need to thrive in the age of AI?